President Trump weighing military action in Iran as nationwide protests rage against the Ayatollah's regime, leaving hundreds of civilians reportedly dead. Trump warning that Tehran is flirting with disaster.
On Iran, have they crossed your red line yet to trigger a response?
Well, no, they're starting to, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. And some of the protesters were killed through the stampeding. I mean, you know, there's so many of them, and some were shot. We get a full report. I'm getting an hourly report, and we're going to make a determination.
Trump also trolling Havana by floating little Marco as Cuba's next boss, reposting a truth message suggesting that Marco should be the next leader of Cuba. He's got a lot of jobs, Emily, Marco. Could he be the Cuban president in the near future?
I enjoy all of those memes about Secretary Rubio. Yes, look. Here's what I appreciate about what this administration is doing and what I don't appreciate about how the left is viewing it, is that we enjoyed a really strong economic and political and military relationship with Iran prior to their revolution in 1979. And we have thus, since then, seen our true partners, which is the people of Iran, be absolutely extinguished, most of them women and girls. And they say, that's why the phrase is, do not call the regime Iran, call it what it is. It's the Islamic Republic. So now I see and hear only silence from those on the left that say women's rights are paramount and girls' education and freedom and liberty. It is so ironic to me that we are watching truly people killed and the brutality of this state-sponsored terrorist, brutal dictatorial regime there, and yet people who are enjoying, you know, DoorDash and Uber get to say things like, here is where we are under a brutal regime and dictator. So I wish that more people would speak up for the Iranian people who just want peace, who aren't anti-Semitic, who actually want to rebuild what the United States had with Iran in the 70s, which was so positive. Why are you shaking your head right now?
You haven't seen the increased charges DoorDash is doing based on zip code. So fine. But Emily's making a great point. DNC, somebody at DNC, the head, equated the Minnesota protesters with Iran's protesters. It's pretty self-centered. I would call that self-centered.
Oh my gosh! And did they declare a red line?
Yes.
So President Trump says right underneath there, right underneath there, it says Trump says Iran's starting to cross red lines. It will be. I think it is refreshing. It will be continued to be refreshing if red lines mean something again. Remember, Obama didn't enforce the red line, and then what did we end up covering that entire year was ISIS beheading people. Yeah. So one of the things that's different this time than in 2019 is that Iran is in a currency crisis. Their currency has collapsed. Like, your money's worth nothing. And at the same time, they have access to the internet, maybe not right now, but in general, right? So they're looking around, the young people are looking on their phones, or they're looking at the Emirates and Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Bahrain and these opportunities that are happening all around the Middle East, and they're stuck in this. And this regime says, sorry about the fact that you can't afford anything and we make you have terrible lives, but we'll give you $7 more a month. Will that do it? And they said no, so you end up with this. The regime sort of sat back and waited, but you can tell that they're nervous. One, they cut off the internet because they don't want them to be able to coordinate. One of the things President Trump has said is that, Elon Musk, could you please step in here? Apparently that is somewhat underway. But as Michael Allen on my podcast said today, well, maybe the best thing that we could do is a cyber attack against Iran. Then you have to ask, well, then what is Israel doing? Because Israel got us to the point where Iran can't use its air forces against its own people. And Iran calls on Saturday and says, Mr. Trump, could we talk? Could we negotiate? Negotiate what? What's there to what are we negotiating at this point? President Trump has the upper hand. Then the question will be, does he decide that he needs to play that card? And the next step would be, then what? Because
then what, Jessica?
Yo no sé. I don't think anyone knows. And I think that that's the biggest issue with what's been going on in the last few weeks for people. You know, the attack on Fordo on the nuclear facility was widely praised. Democrats and Republicans happy about that. But that had a kind of bow on it, right? And this doesn't. So what does intervening here actually mean? And you said, Emily, that the left is so upset about all of this, but there are plenty of Trump supporters who are being very vocal and saying, this was the no new wars, the non-interventionist president, right? He said, we can't be the world's policeman. I'm going to take care of you at home. And now we have whatever's going on in Venezuela with Delcy, who's like Maduro in a dress. Maybe we're taking Cuba. The French and the Germans and the Brits are sending troops to Greenland to try to support them there, as he's talking about maybe I'll buy it, maybe I'll just take it by force, and then also, bringing charges against Chairman Powell, which is, a complete political move because he doesn't like the lack of rate cuts that he's been getting. And so there are plenty of people who support the president that are looking around and saying WTF.
What's that stand
What's
for?
that stand for?
Jesse?
I don't know.
I think we all know what that stands for. If you're looking around as an honest broker and you're seeing Soleimani, Baghdadi,
That was a long
obliteration,
time ago.
we're going to combine both terms. The obliteration of the Iranian nuclear program, the decapitation of the entire Iranian military regime, the Hezbollah attacks, the peace in Gaza, the extraction of Maduro to put him on trial. You guys want a due process, you're getting it. And I'm sure we're going to cut a deal with the Europeans over Greenland, and we can all bask in the rare earths, which we desperately need for AI and defense. So if you look around the globe, no one's really saying WTF. I have now gotten to a place where I trust that this president is not going to screw up and get us into some kind of crazy forever war or create chaos and mass migration. This has been done so surgically and so precisely almost every single time he uses the U.S. military or the threat of it or the threat of economic sanctions that you just got to kind of trust the process.
I agree with you, Jesse. Truthfully, I kind of tuned out.
It was boring.
All right.
Oh, I thought it was a big good time.
It was pretty good, actually.
TTP.
My fault.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.